Oh, hi there, and welcome back to British Skylines. This is episode 8, and once again we are here in the county of Cambridgeshire, in the town of Great Gamington. Now, in this video we're going to be focusing on working on a UK housing estate, a bit like we did previously. We are going to, we need to first lay out the area, the land, and plan the roads around it. There are quite a lot of houses that go into this one, and I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm not going to show you every single house being placed down, just because it does get a little bit repetitive, and I'm trying to plan around that and trying to make sure that I can only show you the best bits of this. So I think I'm going to show you maybe the first 11 houses being placed down, and the rest we'll just cut through and we'll focus more on the detailing around the houses. Hopefully you guys can get on board with that. Let me know in the comments if that's a problem, but also let me know in the comments if you'd rather just me not do any houses whatsoever and just literally cut to the detailing. So to try to make this feel realistic, we decided to go down the route of having different styles of houses. Now, in this first section here that we're working on, we use 3 different styles of house, and each style has variations of the house, and then there's 3 different styles of different types of housing, and that's quite normal in the UK. It's just the fact that they're built at different times by different developers, and that's just the style they went for. We will also have a 4th style as well in the bit that we'll cut out, but you'll see them as we go along, and obviously we'll detail around it. So along with these houses, and the main focus really of this episode is the spaces around that. So we're going to be working on some public spacing, some shops, and a public house, so make sure to stay tuned for all of those. And I should also add that all the houses we're using in this episode are built by McWelshman and available on the Steam Workshop, so feel free to go check them out if you want to use them. And once all these houses are in place, it's just a matter of adding a few little bits of details in there. We're not going crazy at this point, just a few little things, wheelie bins, washing lines, some walls to separate the houses from one another, and of course some bushes and some trees, just to prettify it a little bit. But like I say, more coming. So for the next part of the build, I wanted to add a few local shops in. Now, obviously, these are going to be different to the outer town retail park that we worked on the last episode. Those were for people all over the place coming to them, whereas this is a lot more selective for the local people to walk and maybe drive to. In terms of actually getting these done, I placed down a whole bunch of different shops, and I want to really look and focus on which ones really wanted it. I had it in my mind. I had this vision, and I wanted to make sure I had the right shops. So it took some time to plan out which ones are the best to place where, and then obviously once we knew which ones we wanted, we had to put them in the right order and just make them all nice and neat. When it came down to it, I wanted to make these as terrace shops, and it's the only terrace buildings in this part of the map. I do plan to do more later on. I know in particular Lady Geek is she's interested, and she wants me to work on a terraced housing area. So that's something we'll do in the future. But for the time being, we'll just do these shops, and it does work quite well separate. Even though the houses nearby are detached or semi-detached, this works well because of the style of the shops they are. And obviously, once the shops are in, we need to decorate them. And then from my personal experience, I find that popping down a few basic props and assets, it makes things look good, but then you add a few more and it looks better, and a few more and it looks better, and you just keep going. And it doesn't seem to be that limit where there's too much, or certainly I haven't reached that yet anyway. But I'm really enjoying this, and but adding all the extra details, the cracks and the puddles and all that sort of stuff, bushes, and just layer upon layer upon layer, and it just seems to, everything you add just seems to make it come to life more and more and more. And another thing we want to do with this as well is obviously people, when they come around, they need somewhere to park. We have got a bit of a road out the front, and I kind of foresee people parking there. They're not supposed to park there, but they will, because that's what people do. But we'll have some actual parking around the back, and people can just obviously leave the car around and walk around at the front of the shops and collect their basics. And as I say, these sort of shops, you've got like a fish and chip shop, you've got I think there's a news agent, there's an off license, a few basics. I think there might be a laundrette or something like that. But yeah, some pretty unique, local styled ones that people actually want to take a walk down in the mornings and grab this stuff before going to work. So we're getting close to the end of this segment, and as I said before, we're going to make a bit of a jump in the next scene. You're going to notice that there's going to be a whole bunch of new houses which were done. They were done on camera, but the footage has not been used because it would have been way too long, this video. So we cut that, and you should see a nice view of them as we go along anyway. We didn't detail around them, so you should see them. Any problems, obviously let me know. If you want to see them up close and personal, then let me know, and we can look at that in a future episode. So there you have it, you can see the houses in the background, and like I say, we'll come back to that, we'll see a bit more detail later on. For now, we're going to work on a pub, and I believe this pub was created by Rick 4000 and is available on the Steam Workshop. Incidentally, all the shops that we used just a moment ago were also created by Rick 4000. So in order to make this a bit more usable, I mean, to be honest, I wanted to place it here first of all. I've been wanting to put something in this piece of land for, well, a couple of episodes now, because the housing estate stopped there, and I kind of felt like it had to be something with a function, a school or a public service, such a pub or fire station, etc. I decided in the end to go for a pub. It works quite well, and I went through a few different options, and this is the one that I thought looked the best. Now, obviously, we want to put a car park in it, we want to make it look a bit more beautiful, and add some cars and some trees and some walls and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll see you in just a moment. You can see here that we're just making a few tweaks to the road, making sure that when people come out of a junction that they can only turn left, so that it just reduces traffic of people trying to cross the road and go over in front of the other traffic. It doesn't really matter at this point. It will hope it should certainly help the traffic flow better, but it shouldn't have a negative effect on the traffic as they're trying to come out. So they don't have to go a long way out. There's a roundabout at sort of either side of the road, so it's no issue. And here's a little bit more input from the wife. She suggested that we make more cars double parked and parked wonky, just like real life car parks. I think that's a fantastic idea, so we're going to do that here and also a bit later on in the video. Cheers, babe. As it goes, I would like to just thank everyone who comments on the videos, in Discord, wherever else you might comment and talk to me. I do read everything you send to me, and I really can't thank you enough. It's as much as I have lots of ideas myself, you guys are really good at giving me extra ideas and some of the things I've never thought of doing it. So cheers for that, and keep them coming. I will do my best to use as many as possible, and of course, when I do, you'll be credited. And now we come to what is my favourite part of all these builds, and that's the detailing and the green spaces. I absolutely love this. I just can't get enough of it, and you're going to see that more and more of my videos. I don't know what it is. I think it's because when I'm working on these sort of things, I'm visualising myself going to these places, enjoying it on a nice sunny day, with close friends, family, and just living in the moment. And I don't think you can get anything better than that in life. I know people say about money and fame. That's not important. What's important is spending time with close friends and family and living in the moment. And that's what makes people happy. Also, it could be because of the bees. The bees? Yeah. I like to put places. I know it's a game. I like to put places in the game where the bees can visit and they can collect their pollen and then go out and get their honey and stuff. And I think bees get a bad rep a lot of the time. Bees are fantastic, and they do so much for humans and all animals on the planet. Without bees, we wouldn't be here. And they are actually on the decline, so it's important in real life and also in the game to make sure there's plenty of green spaces and bushes and flowers so that you can pollinate and do what they need to do and keep alive. Got to save the bees. So that first park I kind of envision as being like a quiet place to go, maybe somewhere you'd take someone on their first date and just to just be in nature. And I know you're in the middle of a town, but just a little bit of quiet space to get away from all the noise. And so that's what that one is. And the next one I wanted to try and do is more like a child's play park, somewhere where the adults can take the young kids along and just keep them entertained for an hour or two a day. And maybe, in the evenings the teenagers will come along and they'll do things there they're not really supposed to be doing, but we've all been there. So this, going back to what I was saying earlier, this is a prime example of where you just put a few items in, just a few props and assets. It looks alright, but it doesn't look brilliant. And once on, this is what I would have done. I would have plopped these park assets in and I said, yep, that's the park done. Moving on, let's see what's next on the list. But now I feel like you've just got to keep layering it, put more detail in, add some extra stuff, and it just starts bringing it to life. It feels so much nicer. So to be honest, I still look at it and I think, I can't believe I actually did that. That's so much better than I even had in my mind. Who knows, in 5 episodes time we might look back and think, do you know what? That was good, but it wasn't good enough. And I hope that's the case. But also, if this is the level we're going to stick to, then I'm happy with that. That's absolutely fine. So let me know in the comments what you think and whether you think this is the right amount of detail, or maybe we need more, or perhaps even a little bit less. Save the bees! But unfortunately, at least for now, we are running out of time for this video. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for all the support so far in this series. It's been fantastic. I've been loving it. I've been loving playing it, loving the feedback, loving you guys watching it. It's been amazing. Hopefully, can keep doing more videos and keep letting me know what you want to do, and we'll make it work. Make it work around it. But as always, I have been Cities Gamer. You've been awesome, and thanks for watching. And also, thank you, Sir Dorito Muncher, for your road suggestion. Here you go. Thank you very much. Enjoy the cinematics, everyone. Goodbye.